Hello and welcome. My name is Richard. It's a great pleasure of mine to welcome you into this space. Here on this wintry morning, out in the bush here in southwest Australia. I love to come out to these places where the energy is so pristine and virgin. It's very different to my native England, which is a more managed landscape than here. There's an ancient thread that runs through this land. And I feel very grateful and blessed to be able to come out into these spaces and to reflect and to connect to what I've called footprints on the Ascension path. It's not a video series. It's just a moment in time that I want to record a footprint on the journey and to put that into the public field. And if you're new to my channel, then I'm very grateful that you are here, because I put these videos out there not just for myself, but as a mirror and reflection of the collective journey that we are on at this time. The things that I am moving through personally are connected to the wider collective. We are all one vessel moving on the journey home. This long journey of ascension from a place of separation and the experience of separation and creating a life of separation, and then integrating and restoring wholeness to our hearts and to this beautiful planet. Humanity weaving itself back into the thread of creation. Now, these are not regular videos that I'm posting. It's just when I feel called and when I have the space in my life. And at this time, I'm not promoting these videos widely. It's just the sole commitment I have to prepare a testimony of the journey, a record. And if you're here and resonate with what I speak of, then that touches my heart deeply. Now, the theme I wish to speak to today kind of follows on from my video last week, prior to the winter solstice, which related to the core wound that we came here with and learning through and growing through. And there was a rather beautiful message within this, that deep within the core wound, if we unwrap that wound, go into it, go through it, we'll find the gift that is the cornerstone of our legacy. And I didn't really explore the gift last time. I just wanted to open some space to explore, how do we take core wound and unwrap its gift in service to ourselves and our world. Now, my core wound related to the theme of safety and the absence of safety, and the experience of feeling unsafe in this world. When I went through the experience of separation into a separate self, trying to navigate this landscape. And feeling overwhelmed and anxious out of that absence of safety. So how do I take this feeling of unsafe and transform that energy into a gift? And what is that gift? For me, when I feel unsafe, I have to work to contain that experience within a wider field of safety. Now, these words are significant. To contain it within a wider field of safety. I'm not trying to repress or deny my experience. I'm not trying to change or fix it, to control it. My work is to contain it lovingly. And what is this wider field of safety that I am to contain it with? And here we talk about the word God. That is absolute safety. Now, I know God is a loaded word for a lot of people. And it conjures lots of images and experiences and misunderstanding. But I use this word because it is the best we have. When I connect with God, I'm not connecting with an image, an object, a force. It's a frequency of vibration that I'm tuning into, like I am turning the dial to pick up a different radio station. So God is a channel that I must turn the dial to connect with. It's a certain frequency. Now, we often call that frequency love, peace, joy. But is wrapped up in this concept of God. The great mystery that we are reaching for. Now, if I came into this world and was feeling comfortable and safe and at ease, my yearning to connect with that frequency would not be strong. And it's also true that pseudo forms of safety can no longer sustain me. I cannot find safety in this world to fix, to heal, to solve this kind of core wound, this core ache. I cannot find it in a relationship, in a career, in a sum of money. I cannot find it in characteristics of the personality. I spoke last time about the courageous performer that I've been parading through this world, and leaning on that to give me safety. But all of these things are unstable. They're impermanent. The fundamental law that the Buddha noted is the law of change. So any hand that I hold on this world cannot give me absolute safety. And it's only in that field and that frequency of God that I find it. And that frequency is not a rescuer. It is what it is. I am what I am, says God. I am here and I am available. But I will not descend and be what I am not, to show myself to you in your drama, in your suffering, in your illusions. As I say, we have to turn the dial. We are the ones who have to connect and open that door to the sacred life. And to realize the truth of the omnipresence of that in every moment, in every fabric and fiber of this planet lies that frequency, lies God. Now, to begin with, that's a beautiful idea. That God is in all things, in all circumstances, and that I am only to surrender myself in faith and trust, and to know that when I am in that frequency, the experience of being unsafe is contained and released. It's not triggering anxiety anymore in my system or overwhelm. I am in stillness, calm, at peace. I have clarity. I have sovereign power. I make good decisions. I'm connected to my wisest, highest self. The place we all want to be in, as much as we can. But like I say, if I am living a comfortable life, if I build these structures around me, and they give me the experience of safety and comfort and ease, and I can sustain that, then I am not yearning for God. but the gift I'm here to bring to the planet lies in that yearning. And it's a good thing that I don't feel safe in this world. That I have that single-minded focus and desire to call God out. And it's very interesting, there's two ways to connect with that frequency. One is external, where I go into a particular environment where the conditions are favorable. I enter a relationship that's favorable, where there's love in that relationship. I might use sacred practices like bhakti practices of devotion, chanting, meditative practices, coming out into a beautiful spot like this in nature. In these places it's easy to turn the dial, and we need those places in our lives where we can find God with ease. The magic and mystery of creation. But then there are the moments of descent where we go dark, deep into a cave, deep into our wounding. Moments where we are triggered, anxious, overwhelmed, where we cannot see the wood through the trees. And when we can turn the dial, which is an internal effort, when we can turn the dial in those moments, it feels so much more profound to me than a peak experience. I don't know if you can relate to this, but I've had those moments where I've been in a very dark place. My mind's spinning with anxiety. My world looks very bleak around me. And then suddenly I turn the dial and I am at peace. And it's like nothing has changed, but everything has changed. And when I can do that, that feels so awe-inspiring to me. When in one moment I can be spinning in my victim story, and in the next just be at total peace. And yet sitting in the same seat, looking at the world through the same eyes. No circumstances changed. And that is the gift out of the wound. And the more that I connect and devote myself to live in that frequency, the frequency of God, and the more others around me can do the same, then it elevates humanity. It's like the bridge between the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of earth. gets closed. The connections are stronger. I came across some work by a spiritual teacher in Sidonia, Michael Madad. He talks about these people as the daughters of heaven, which I find a very beautiful and delicious term, as a category of light worker. A lot of light workers are here to serve humanity, whether that be a healer, a teacher, or an artist, as the main modalities to work with other humans and influence other humans. But the daughters of heaven are here to serve God and to anchor that frequency. Many years ago, Eckhart Tolle talked to these as frequency holders. They don't fit into this world. They find it hard to function in this world. They're on the edges. But they have this strong yearning to live in the exalted frequencies and to anchor that into the planet through their lives, through their presence. And that is how they bring forth their gift. And just feeling that distinction between the two. Sometimes I feel this great internal pressure to be doing more for humanity, to take on a role, to build a vocation. That's a lot more kind of showy and can prove that I'm a light worker. Because I'm working in one of those modalities. I think it's human nature to want that evidence and that proof. That if you are here as a light worker, you are making a difference. But with these daughters of heaven, a lot of that need to prove needs to vanish. And it's just about being and becoming. And approaching each day with the simple question, how can I help today? What am I here to give? There's no structure, there's no form. There's no clear vehicle that you step into. There's a great humility there, great softness. What am I here to give today? And giving and forgiving are so important. Because the more I can forgive the past, Let go the past. Forgive myself, forgive others. It's like that is what opens the door to God. If there's any part of me that's in resentment, that has my attention turned to what has been, I close the door to God. God cannot speak through an unforgiving heart. That is clear. And that is why so many are frustrated with the idea of God and the experience of God. Because people want God to come and fix without them having to forgive. Forgiving is not about the other person. Forgiving is all about ourselves and bringing us back to peace. And it cannot be forced. One cannot force oneself to forgive. It's a journey where one takes one's attention away from that which is triggering unsafety, to put it down, and to turn towards this wider container of safety. And here it is. Here is God. And I just felt to speak to that today. Having come to the other side of the solstice. I'm moving more into that space of creating the next phase. Last week I let go of the courageous performer. That stands between me and this. It's a beautiful place to get to in life. And to anchor oneself into more often than not. And that is the journey. And that is the footprint I want to leave with you today. Thank you for your time, dear one. Blessed be.